And see what happened
I'm gonna
back
buy
then.
one of those pregnancy things.
Kennedy
that they make you
declared
slip
that
on and show you
we
what it's
may
like.
go to war, nuclear war, and we had air raids.
Because every time it
Sometimes daily.
And you could hear them. You could hear them.
Yeah, and we
You
had
passed out
to
on the
follow.
kitchen floor.
The law was
I
if
passed
you were
out.
driving in the
Did I have
car
to pick you up?
or you were in a bus,
I was
the
pretending.
bus had to pull over, the car had to pull over.
Yeah.
On the bus, you got under the seat. In the car, you ran into the nearest building.
How smart would that be? Get under
If you
the
were
seat.
at home, you were to get under the kitchen table. And, I mean, this is going on.
Oh, Mom, are you going to tell that story about...
I will.
Okay.
So this
Where
is
you
going
girls
on
going?
and on and on, you know.
Hi, Chelsea.
Oh, no,
He says
no.
everybody's going to have
She's telling a good
air
story.
raid shelters. Okay?
What are you
And
doing?
Buffalo decided they're going to do this big thing. They built an actual air raid shelter.
Can I take a picture?
Minus one side. They put glass over it.
Can I take a picture?
And they invited the public to come down and watch this woman live for 2 weeks in there. And we went down and we thought, oh, how does that poor woman, she couldn't see you. But she did have a little place that she could use a pot and pull the curtain. And it was, you know, like, oh, I can't live like that, honey. Because they're talking, you know, like you're 6 feet underground. I said, I could never live like that. We haven't got the money for something like that. And I'm like, you know, what are we going to
What is
do?
this?
We need something bigger. We got kids. I was pregnant with Mike.
Get us some chips.
So then my doctor goes on
Can I
vacation,
take a picture?
and all of a sudden they're blasting
Can I
all
take a
over
picture?
TV. If the
Feel
doctor
like
gave
this
you
is
anything
supposed
for nerves,
Next.
it could have
Do you need
been
a bowl?
thalidomide.
Yeah.
These are what the babies are
You want
turning out
peanuts?
like. They said, call your
Everybody
doctor
need a bowl?
immediately. My doctor's on 2-week vacation.
I'm
I'll tell you
videotaping.
about shit. My gut's out. It was horrible. And when she came back, I ran right down to her and I said, did I get thalidomide? She said, no. She said, you know me. She said, I'm behind in the times. She said, I'm glad I didn't get the free samples. She said, because you would have definitely got a free. She always gave me free samples because I was always broke. She never charged me for a visit. Okay, now let's speed up to Beaver's a baby. It's no longer Mike.
Beaver.
Beaver's a baby.
Who's Beaver?
For anything?
Beaver's that pretty blonde sitting over there taking the movie.
Mimi!
That's Beaver. Her name was Mimi back then. And we moved. We were no longer living in Buffalo. We were living in a small town about the size of Clearfield, just outside of Buffalo, about 30 miles. And one day, just out of the blue, he's at work. I'm home alone with 4 kids. I am pregnant now
With David.
with David.
Can I take a picture?
Okay? All of a sudden the sirens go off. The sirens went
This is the best
off.
part of the story.
And I thought, oh my God,
Wait, you're not
this
done
is it, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for.
You're done. Chelsea wants one mix.
I grabbed the kids under the kitchen table. We went. You know how hard it is to grab up
Yeah, popcorn?
5 babies?
Yeah,
Or 4
popcorn.
babies. Because George was 3, Ernie was 2, Mike was 1, Beaver was 5 months. I'm under the table. I'm pregnant. We stayed under there.
Under the table.
Under the
kitchen
table.
table.
Not in the.
You never heard this story. You never heard this story. I know this story by heart.
So, this is to protect you from the flying glass
Okay.
and the ceiling caving in.
I'm gonna pay
That's
a
why
little.
you went under the kitchen table.
Well, they even did that in schools too.
Okay, so the kids kept saying, can we get out now? I said, we didn't get the all clear signal. It was 3 beeps for an air raid, 2 beeps for all clear signal, and you could get out. It didn't come, it didn't come. The kids fell asleep. 4 hours later, I'm so cramped. My belly hurts. I'm pregnant.
And you're still under that table.
I'm still under the kitchen table. He's at work. Finally, I said, oh, you know, the kids are asleep. I thought, I'm just going to, I haven't heard the bombs.
real fast.
I haven't heard the bombs. I ran into the bedroom. I got pillows. I got blankets. Back under the kitchen table. Under there, I felt a little bit better because I got up and stretched a little bit. And I thought, I'm awful hungry and I'm thirsty. I run to the refrigerator.
How many hours
Get the
is this
milk
now?
out of the refrigerator.
4 or 5.
Run to the bag of bread. We ate the bread plain.
You carry that up for Chelsea? What
You
When the
really
kids
think
woke
that
up.
table would have saved you?
That's a day.
So, approximately 5.5 hours later, there's a knock at the door. And I thought, this can't be happening. The Russians have landed. And then I thought, no, they would not. They'd break the door down. So I got out from underneath.
It would knock.
I answered the door. It's my landlady. She said, hi, I thought I'd come over and have a cup of coffee with you. She said her husband went bowling. I said, really? During the middle of an air raid drill? She said, what are you talking about? I said, do you remember back in 1962 when we had all the air raids? She said, we never had them out here. I said, well, we did in Buffalo. And she said, we never had them out here. And she said, what are you talking about anyway? I said, didn't you hear the sirens going off? Oh, she said, that's the fire. Just like in Clearfield, the fire sirens go off when there's a fire. It just happened to be a 3 for the location of the fire. And I never got the 2, the all clear. I'll tell you, all my kids are asleep.
Under the kitchen table.
And she laughed, and she told everybody. Everybody that would listen, she told them that story. I rescued Marge underneath the kitchen table. They were living on milk and plain bread. Oh, God.
5 hours.
And I was worrying.
5
and I thought,
hours.
yeah.
I would have snuck out to the refrigerator too.
Yeah, I mean, my God,
Then
what
I'm
the
worried.
heck
I'm
he did?
thinking, did he survive? Because he's not around.
Yeah, he hasn't come home from work yet.
Because that was the big time with the bomb
Yeah.
shelters and have that little dugout.
Right. Well, anyway, with Mike, I had that diarrhea. I did go into labor very early. And, in fact, he was due March 28th. I had him...
We'll take a beautiful photo of you. How's that? After you gonna smoke first or no?
That's a pretty neat camera.
Very expensive.
Are you going to do it? I can't hold a smile that long.
Okay, it's done.